Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn from Devine Central. Today, I want to show you a conversation that I had with AI about the Six of Swords. Now, I chose the Six of Swords because, frankly, I think it's kind of a boring card. I mean, its core meanings are pretty straightforward, and I wanted to enhance and gain more food for thought about that particular card and how I could use it in my everyday readings. So I will preface everything from here on out by saying I absolutely recommend against using AI for readings. So much of readings has to do with our intuition. And whether or not you believe that your intuition pulls that information from deep down in your psyche or your subconsciousness, or if you believe, as I do, that the messages that are sent through your third eye are spirit driven, either way, it's intuition that pulls that information, and it's real. And if you try to do computer generated readings, well, they're just not real. And you don't have that nuance. You can't. So I just think it's yeah, you can try it. I mean, just once to show you, but you'll learn right away. It's like, ooh, this could be really dangerous. So use it responsibly. Okay. All right. So I want to dig down deep into its coffers, and I want to bring up core meanings, additional meanings. I want to talk to it about elements and about symbology and about numerology. And I'm going to end by asking how the Six of Swords could work in a reading about specific scenarios. So, because it's so vast and there's so much information, I had to think about how I was going to present it to you. So, I could either scroll down through everything and let you read everything that it gave me, which you're not going to stick around for. I could read it all to you, which you're not going to stick around for. Or I could just try to show you a smaller, shorter version, where I just hit the highlights. And that's what I'm going to do. So I will know if this was acceptable or not by whether or not you hit the like button, okay? And leaving me comments down below. So let me get started. All right. So I want to start by coming to Gemini. And you can see up here at the top, it's gemini.google.com. It's free to sign up and it saves every single conversation that you've ever had. So it's a great place to come back to if you want to see what you've already gone over. So I'm going to come to the bottom of the page. Here we are going to ask it a question. I'm going to start my conversation by saying, I want the core meanings of the Six of Swords. Now, I'm going to forewarn you that I'm not a good typist, and it's going to show here. Basically, what it gives us is it's all about the journey through transition and healing. Okay. So we have change and transformation. We have letting go. We have healing and moving forward, and the inner strength and the resilience that we need to do that. Okay, fine. So let's take change and transformation. So, with regard to change and transformation, how does that differ from the death card? It tells us that with the Six of Swords, the transition is moving on. It's about the specific journey itself. It's about being able to manage that journey, whereas the death card is about sudden, disruptive, and even scary change. It's a change that's basically out of your control. It signifies an inevitable ending, but it also makes room for new beginnings, right? So it gives an analogy here. Imagine the Six of Swords as taking a planned trip abroad. You've booked your tickets, packed your bags, said goodbye to loved ones, and you're excited about the venture ahead. Where the death card is more like a natural disaster that forces you to evacuate your home. It's unexpected and devastating, but it also creates an opportunity to rebuild something new. So the Six of Swords is actually about the transitioning that one goes through from one phase of life to another, where the death card signifies a more radical transformation that involves letting go of the past entirely. All right, I'll take that. So let's go back and talk about healing. How about that? Let's put it this way, with regard to healing, letting go, acceptance. How does this card differ from the Eight of Cups? So the Eight of Cups is disillusionment, seeking more, being restless and unfulfilled, and feeling like I don't know where I'm going, but wherever it is, it's got to be better than where I'm at, because you are at that point where the acceptance comes from moving along, as it says here. Whereas the Six of Swords, healing after difficulty. So it talks about focusing on the process. Acceptance precedes the journey. So you're leaving with the Eight of Cups, you're leaving to heal, where with the Six of Swords, you've already left and now you're in the process of healing. Does that make sense? I think so. It gives you something to think about. Imagine the Eight of Cups as realizing a relationship isn't working anymore. You might feel sad and unsure, but deep down, you know it's time to end things. With the Six of Swords, it's like healing after a breakup. You've accepted the relationship is over, and now you're ready to start dating again. Oof. So in essence, the Six of Swords suggests a more passive form of letting go, where healing paves the way for the journey, where the Eight of Cups is a more active form of letting go, driven by the need for something more fulfilling. The swords are stuck in the bottom of the boat, and I've always wanted to know why it's not, making the boat sink. Right? So I kind of got my hand slapped a little bit asking this question previously. And basically it's telling me to focus on the journey, and it's a mythical vessel, quit taking it so literally and so seriously. Okay, I won't. But I will say this. I view the swords as mental baggage I'm taking along with me in the boat. How do you see it? AI? It says, all right, using that as a core meaning, it's like facing your baggage. The fact that the swords are visible and upright in the boat suggests that you're aware of the mental baggage you're carrying. You haven't tried to bury or ignore these thoughts or emotions, but you are taking along what you need. So discarding everything from the past, but taking what's essential on your journey going forward. Yeah, I mean, I have to say that sometimes the hard lessons that we've learned from the past need to come with us so we don't repeat them. So I differ where AI does on this subject. But again, it's the process. It's the calm water ahead suggests that, it's going to be a smoother journey. And that while you're carrying baggage, it also means that you're healing. So overall, the swords strengthen the message in the Six of Swords. So the card is about acknowledging your past, not burying it, not leaving it back on the shore, not pretending like it didn't exist. It's carrying necessary lessons. That's what I just said, and venturing forth with newfound resilience. All right. Now I want to know about the elements. Okay. How do the elements present themselves in the imagery? Now, I had to re-ask the question because it gave me something different. I'm asking specifically about the physical, mental, emotional, and energy level. So physically, we have the water, which represents the journey itself, a realm of emotions and change. The calm water towards the front suggests a transition to a more peaceful state. Okay, I get that. The boat, right? That symbolizes the vessel or navigating that journey. And the swords, as we've already mentioned, is about the baggage or physically what you're bringing with you. It could also be mentally or emotionally what you're bringing with you. Those swords kind of are an all-in-one. Mentally, a clear sky would mean you have focus and clarity. The horizon, a distant landmass on the horizon, hints of new possibilities or new opportunities that lie ahead. Some of my Six of Swords cards has the shore off in the distance, and some don't. So for me, if I'm doing a reading with a particular deck, I might notice that, ooh, we don't have clarity. We're not sure exactly where we're going to end up. Whereas, ooh, we can see exactly where we're going to end up. So emotionally, again, the water, if it's calm, our emotions are in a good place. If it's really choppy, we might be very high anxiety about this trip. The figure in the boat, if there is a ferryman there, oftentimes it can offer clues about your emotional state, and also the energy level, the overall, the stillness of the boat and the calm water could suggest a quiet determination. And obviously, just the opposite if we have swirling waters. Okay. So the next thing I asked was, give me a brief life experience example of how of each of these elements would show themselves. And I know I misspelled it, but it knows me. All right. So this is kind of fun. Imagine Sarah is recovering from a bad breakup. Physically, she's separated from her ex. That would be the water, taking her farther away. She's taking a solo trip on the boat to a new city, which we might see a shore off in the horizon, right? The calmness of the water suggests she's leaving behind a turbulent time. I can picture that. I like that. Mentally, she feels a sense of clarity. The sky is clear, about the reasons for the breakup. And she's determined to move on. That would be the upright swords. And she's excited about the possibilities that a new city would hold. That would be the distant land. Emotionally, while there might be lingering sadness, which again brings us back to the depth of the emotions that she might have, the water, Sarah is starting to feel hopeful, which would be the calmer water. So typically we see the agitated water on one side of the boat and the calm water on the other, showing that we're moving into calmer waters. And the energy level, the stillness of the boat, it could be focusing on healing and the upright sword, self-discovery. There's a quiet sense of determination in her pace. So let me ask another question. Show me how these same elements show up in the following scenario. There is a strange vibe at work. Is there something I should know? What's it going to give us? All right, so physically, the water could represent the uncertainty or the emotional undercurrents that you're picking up on at work. The water may be choppy or unclear, reflecting a confusing atmosphere. Okay. The boat could symbolize your position within the company. Is it sturdy and seaworthy or small and rickety, reflecting how secure you feel on your job? Now, that I had not thought of before. So there's some food for thought. You've got the mental baggage that represents the anxieties and the gossips that you're hearing around the office, right? That could be the conflict. Mentally, a cloudy sky could reflect confusion, which is causing the vibes. The horizon could be obscure by fog or not have like a landmass in the present. So you don't have anything you can focus on moving forward that's sturdy and stable. Emotionally, again, choppy water could mirror your emotions and the figure in the boat. So the figure in the boat, that could be you. Are you looking determined or apprehensive about navigating this situation? As far as the energy level goes, the image might evoke a feeling of unease or caution. And so you're likely paddling through murky waters, uncertain about the best course of action. And honestly, it's those swords give me the bad vibes, or they would. So it just depends on what resonates with you. And it says here, it might also suggest that it's time to consider a transition, right? Because isn't this card about transition? This doesn't necessarily mean quitting your job, but it could be a prompt to start looking for new opportunities or to have an honest conversation with your boss to understand what's going on. I like that. I think that gives us some food for thought. It's something that will get put in your brain, your fabulous brain, and it's something that your psyche or that spirit will pull up at any moment if it ends up coming up in any scenario with this card. So that's kind of the fun part about it. So the next thing that I wanted to know about is, how does numerology play a role in this card? And when I type that in, it kind of gives me the whole, the whole analogy of a 6 in any card. So it's about harmony and stability. And you've overcome an obstacle and now you've got cooperation and compromise. The 6 depicts a journey of transition, right? So this is like a peaceful and balanced transition. The nuance of numerology, I didn't find any of it important, or it didn't kind of hit what I was going for. So I wanted to ask it about a scenario where if it was used in a past, present, future, how does numerology help us with this card? And frankly, what it gave me was what this card would look like in the past, what this card would look like in the future, and what this card would look like currently. And that's not kind of what I wanted. What I wanted was this. I often read one cards, and as I do, I consider it the present situation, what's going on right now. But in order for me to understand where we're going with this, I got to know where we came from. How did we get to this point? And so the smarter question to ask AI was, my sister, let's use that, is looking for a new school for her 9-year-old son. Okay. What light can this card shed on her situation? Please use the 5 of Swords as the past, the 6 of Swords as the present, and the 7 of Swords as the future. So it's going to do it as a 3 card, and that's fine. So the 5 of Swords, then, if you're sitting there looking at the 6 of Swords, thinking, God, where did this situation start? It obviously 5s are about conflict and competition, right? So in this particular scenario, it could represent dissatisfaction with the school. Maybe there were struggles or bullying incidents or a lack of connection with teachers or classmates. It could be disagreements about the school. So it could be having different opinions about the school, which could lead to tension. So if the present is the 6 of Swords, it could signify that actual journey that she's taking, the action she's taking, getting out there, researching new schools, coming to terms with the fact that it's time for this kid to get out of the school. And then again, it's looking for a place that is going to be more optimistic and it will be more positive for this kid. So we think we see in our mind's eye, or we see in a 3-card spread that the 7 of Swords comes up, and it could be strategic planning, right? This guy in the 7 of Swords, he's a little shifty. He might be cutting corners a little bit. He might be a little deceptive, but he's also very strategic. So she's looking at strategic. She's looking at different options, pros and cons, unexpected options arising. And also, it could indicate a lack of transparency. So be careful to if you have an application to a school already, be very researching or doing your due diligence on that application process because there might be something there that you don't know. So overall, it says that your sister is on the right track. She acknowledges the issues at the school and is proactively seeking a positive learning environment for her son. The Seven of Swords encourages her to be strategic and thorough in her research while also remaining transparent to potential new schools. All right, then there you have it. We can use this process on any aspect of tarot or any aspect of your metaphysical journey or anything else in your life if you want. It's very interesting. Just use it responsibly. Now, I will leave a video over here on how to use one card to do a three-card reading. I kind of touched on that in this video, and I thought that might be something you might be interested in. Also, please feel free to like this video and give me a comment below if there's something in particular you'd like to see, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.